Y'all, so this is our take. This is Mark the moderator.
Banks.com. The game is the game, always.
AV the process, 1414 Bergen. Shout to Indian, Malaysia.
Okay, so, and that's a great segue. Actually, he didn't even know I was going to go this route, but what we're going to talk about is the name change for the Washington Redskins. What's your take on this whole controversy that's going on right now with what's happening with the Washington? I don't want to use the actual name, the nickname. So the football team that plays in Washington. What's your take?
It's Washington. I mean, I keep saying, man, like I take a lot of this like with a grain of salt because, look, you know, now you want to change the name. You know no. Follow me. What I'm saying is now we're gonna get the hand forced. We've been wanted this to happen, but now we want to change the name. Okay. Now after all this stuff happens, you just realizing, like as the owner too. You know what I'm saying? AKA Donald. He's like Donald Sterling, if you ask me. But that's a whole other conversation. But now all of a sudden you think about moving now because you got this measure. So I really don't know, man. I mean, it got to be changed. If you ask me, it should be changed. You know, for an owner to say, "Yo, I'm not changing the name," and just me as a black man, and it's easy for me to say this. To say I'm still gonna play for a team, for an owner that says I'm not changing the name because it's a part of my history and all of that, that tells you a lot. But it got to be changed. The owner needs to be changed, and the name needs to be changed. So if now's the time to do it, or if now's the time that they're actually going to do it, they're gonna do it. But again, it's kind of like what Banks said, and I hate to see your thunder, Banks. The minute you start touching somebody's capital, that's when they got to start, their head is on a swivel. That's when they start reacting and responding, which is why it's always important for us as people to know where the greatest effect goes. If I affect your pocket, I affect it all. You know what I mean? I know you don't care about me already. I know you don't care about us already. But let me take away some of that bread that I'm giving you. You know what I'm saying? So name got to be changed. Owner got to be changed. And I ain't repeating the names. You know what I'm saying?
Banks?
It's corny to me. This is so corny to me that this is where we had to reach for y'all to change his name. Yeah. Like, and what's even worse about it is the fact that I found out the history of this name, right? And supposedly the term Redskin comes from, I'm sorry, I know y'all don't like me repeating it. It comes from the early settler days when there were bounties on Indian heads. They could trade an Indian scalp or the skin of an Indian for a bounty. That's where the term comes from. And I'm so sick of this, like people being like, oh, you know, there's a heritage and all this behind the name. Like it's crazy. Like, could you imagine a team called like you know, the Washington Sambos or something like that being still in existence, and them talking about, oh yeah, you know, but this goes to a larger conversation of what we're talking about, right? They are removing racist symbols. We're asking y'all to remove racist systems, man. We not like, I'm tired of all of it. I'm tired of this. Oh, we changing Aunt Jemima now. We changing Uncle Ben now. Y'all ain't know this was racist before?
100%.
Y'all ain't know this was racist
Land
before?
Land O'Lakes, the bus.
All of this was all racist before, and now y'all want to be this fake woke, like, oh, okay, yeah, we need to change it. It's corny, man. Why didn't FedEx step up before? Why didn't Nike step up before? Because again, this could have been over 20 years ago. Like, yo, fam, we're not messing with you. Again, and like Avery said, and I've said before, you touch somebody's pocket, you touch a capital, that's when people start listening. They pull all these stuff off the website, which should have been done years ago. Like, why is there still stuff that says this word on it, yo?
Okay, let me say this, because I think what you know, and the word corny I'm not going to use, because here's why. you know, we sit around and we talk about how we have been oppressed over centuries. And now what you're looking at is the Native Americans who are the founders of this country has dealt with a whole lot. And it's not publicized, it's not talked about. The reason why that this is happening now is that consciousness has now opened up. People are quote unquote woke, and mostly white people are woke at this time. We gotta realize is that, yo, at any time that somebody's knee can come off of anybody's neck, yo, it's the fact that it comes off. That's not corny. It's actually, let's say, finally that this time has come. And yo, moving forward, let me say it, you know, and yo, the racist owner that is trying to hold on to the privilege of being able to have this name that we know is a slur, that we know it is, and yes, it should have been eradicated. But if it can finally get done, then guess what? Then days going forward, yo, there's a group of people that don't have to still hear that name, and I think that's positive.
I hear you, Mark, but here's my thing, man. Like, there's 37 states that got Black Lives Matter murals on some form on the streets. Mm-hmm. One state has agreed to do away with qualified immunity.
Right, it still works.
They're treating it. If you turn off your body camera, it's an act of malfeasance. We're not believing anything you say after that body. Right. One state, but 37 states got this Black Lives Matter.
But wait.
Y'all doing the symbols, but y'all not removing the system. I'm sorry. One other thing. There's a Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in every major city in this country. You see where I'm going with this?
No, Listen, once
they're
again,
giving us like, oh yeah, y'all happy now? We gave y'all a little peace. Come on, man.
No, because brother, listen, change comes in time, kid. Yo, you can't turn around and wave a wand of decades of privilege. Yo, if you starting to notice and starting to see that the wall is coming down, okay? Yo, it's going to take time for the wall to come down, but that means that, yo, we can't sit back, keep on talking about what they doing. We got to now push the actual narrative that we want the wall fully down. We got to start, we have to keep protesting. We have to keep pushing the actual needle. So eventually that all of this is eradicated. Go ahead, Abe.
Well, I'm going to say this. Look, I think where Banks is, I understand what you're trying to say, and I'm of both mindsets. Like, look, something got to move. The needle got to be pushed, right? And yeah, it's kind of like you late to the party. You know what I'm saying? This has been happening for a while. You mad late to the party. We gonna get this done, but the fact that you late to the party, I think we need to be reminded that we're not gonna let this happen again. Like, you're not pulling a fast one on us again. And I think from a historical context, especially when you hear people say, oh, like you hear all these racist people say, oh, this is our history, this is our this, that, and the third. The fact of the matter is they're actually right. But let's be clear about the context of the history. That's where we get fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, statues or, these leaders being around. Yeah, that's a part of history. But let's not forget about statues, names, things like that were put up during the Civil Rights Movement. Let's not lose the context for that. Let's be very clear about what happened. Let's be very clear about why you put those statues up, why you name these people that. That's a part of history that's missing from the other piece of it just being history. So now that we are more intelligent and we're forcing their hands and we're putting that history there and we're saying, yo, y'all need to have this history in schools, y'all need to have this history needs to be taught also in this context. Now we can start saying, yo, you late to the game and I ain't with it. But you know what? We're going to change this because it needs to be changed anyway. But we're going to have that conversation about you being late to the game because we ain't going to allow that again. You know what I'm saying?
But yo, let me say it to you, and it's something which I had brought up previously. We didn't get the Civil Rights Bill signed till the 60s, kid. And even though we was told that right, we was free. But from the 60s on, you got to realize how things change. And change still ain't fully. It's still gradual. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about a marginalized group of people that has to sit around and see this name said on a constant basis and know that it hurts them, yo, this needs to change. And once it does, then that, yo, and not only that one, but we can't talk about, yo, it should have been done. Of course it should have. No one is arguing that. But the fact that it's finally going to happen, and it needs to happen. And if the owner doesn't allow it to happen, then yo, you know what? You boycott that team and get him out of there, because that's the key thing. Because you got to remove the privilege. And all these, we have a quote unquote president that is trying to hold on to white privilege right now, every which way he can. Yo, he don't want statues coming down. They always talk about their history. But let me say this, and let's be factual about something. We know that the Holocaust happened. I bet you that there's no statues for any of those that was involved in the Holocaust that people got to go to school for, people got to see,
100%.
people got to drive by.
1000%.
So let's be
Mark,
so
Mark,
once again,
you could go deep. You could go deeper than that. There's no statues for that. There's streets in this country named for the Confederate generals and stuff.
Yep.
There's army bases named for Confederate soldiers. So even if you look at it as a level like you don't like black people and you cool with this, why America love to talk about this heritage of being this winning country that won everything, right? Y'all got statues to losers. These dudes lost the war. Besides that,
they overturned the government. They tried to overthrow the government.
Treason. It was treason. Why do we have statues to treasonous people? Like you said, there's no Hitler Street in Germany. You can't find it anywhere. None of his generals, nothing like that. We got army bases named for these dudes. We got streets in this country named for these dudes.
Right.
Treasonous people, we have statues of. Treasonous people.
So Banks, that's why I say they're trying to hold on to their privilege and call it history, when we know that it wouldn't happen because it hasn't happened with another group, which we can all say there's no history of it. And that's why fact be known, we have to realize on how some people in power wants to hold on to their racist history. Go ahead, Adrian.
Just really to add to that, look, it's kind of like what you said, Mark. We know that slavery obviously didn't happen after 1865. Like, it didn't exist like as this institution or whatever, but we know it started way before then, right? We know that the Civil War happened in 1865. I always say, do the math. We're in 2020, 1865, 2020. That's about 155 years. If you do the math with how long people live, their lifespan is approximately, let's just say 70 years. That's 2 generations. Let's just think how that's like literally around the corner. That's 2 generations ago. That's not far. That's not a long time ago. Let's think about the 1964 Civil Rights Act. How long ago is that? You know what I'm saying? That's 56 years ago. That's 1 generation. So we really haven't, we be thinking that we this far from a year's perspective. Yesterday, the Civil War ended, like yesterday. So we got to always keep that in context when we start talking about where we're at and how far we're going to go.
That's why I said change takes time, and it's not quick, and we still fighting for change still, y'all. So listen, y'all, thank you for tuning in. This is Our Take.
I get it, man, but I'm still skeptical, man. I'm still skeptical until I see it.
Listen, it's nothing wrong with skepticism, but let me say this, Banks. You take the energy and you use it towards helping in the process of change and not waiting for somebody else to change it for you.
Keep that same energy.
Yep. All right, y'all.